Welcome back. If you watched part one, you now know the basics of sleep science and routines. But now we need to talk about real life. Because even with the perfect routine, life happens, illness happens, growth spurts happen, and frankly, anxiety happens. And in part two of this masterclass, we'll move from foundations to advanced troubleshooting. We are tackling the topics that keep parents up at night, literally. But first, we start with the non-negotiables, safety. I'll walk you through the 5 specific mistakes parents may make that increases risk of SIDS. Then we'll dive into another controversial topic in parenting, night feeding. When to stop, how to wean, and the truth about formula. We will also detail the mystery of sleep regressions. Why does your perfect sleeper suddenly wake up screaming at 4 months, 8 months, and 18 months? Following this, we will have a serious look at medical reasons for sleep loss like reflux and apnea, and focus on your mental health as a parent. And finally, we fast forward to the toddler years, the big kid bed, nightmares versus night terrors, and how to negotiate with a tiny lawyer. Because my goal as a doctor is to give you the confidence to handle the bumps in the road. Because believe me, sleep isn't a straight line. It is a journey with twists and turns. But with the right map, you can navigate it safely. Let's start with the most important lesson of all, creating a safe sleep sanctuary.
Let's talk about keeping your baby's sleep space as safe and peaceful as it looks, because good sleep starts with good setup. Your baby's cot should be their own little zone, firm mattress, flat surface, fitted sheet, and nothing else. Always place your baby on their back to sleep. It's the single best way to reduce the risk of SIDS. Try and keep the cot clear so air can flow freely. This means no pillows, bumpers, or clutter, just space to breathe and dream. Because simple really is safest. The best looking nurseries aren't the ones with fancy bedding. They're the ones with empty cots. So avoid soft toys, loose blankets, or cot bumpers. They can all increase the risk of suffocation or overheating. For the first 6 months, share a room with your baby. It helps keep them safe while letting you respond quickly. In terms of temperature, around 20 degrees Celsius is ideal. Cool enough to prevent overheating, warm enough for comfort. If your baby feels sweaty, flushed, or too warmed, remove the layer or cool the room. Overheating is a real risk. My advice is to dress your baby in lightweight layers or a sleep sack. Skip the loose blankets. Babies are surprisingly good at wriggling. Swaddling can help young babies feel secure. Just make sure it's snug but not tight, and never cover the face. But once your baby starts rolling, it's time to say goodbye to the swaddle. They need free arms to move safely. A sleep sack is a great next step. It keeps them warm without loose fabric and gives them safe freedom to wiggle. A safe sleep space should feel calm, dim, and predictable. White noise, low light, and gentle warmth go a long way. Also, keep your baby close, in the same room, in their own cot. You'll both sleep better knowing they're right there. And please, 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 ignore the old myths. Babies don't need blankets, or belly sleeping, or soft toys for comfort. A quick recap. Check before you sleep is perfect. Make sure baby's on their back, face uncovered, and room peaceful. And remember the 3 golden rules. Back to sleep, firm flat surface, and clear cocked. These simple steps save lives. When you keep things safe and consistent, you'll notice your baby sleeps better, and so do you. In the long game, safety isn't about being perfect. It's about small habits.
Let's break down the truth about night feeds, the formula myth, and when you can actually start dropping those 2 a.m. bottles. Now you know how to set up the room safely. A clear cot is a safe cot, but a safe baby isn't always a sleeping baby. The number one reason they wake up in that safe cot? Hunger. Or at least, we think it's hunger. Thing is, there is a huge difference between a baby who needs calories and a baby who needs comfort. We call this a sleep association.
Ah yes, the legendary 2 a.m. feed, a sacred ritual involving half-closed eyes, cold tea, and unconditional love. Those nights are exhausting, but they're also where the bonding magic happens. Skin to skin, calm voices, that little sigh when they finally drift off. In the newborn stage, feeding every 2 to 3 hours, day and night, is completely normal. They've got tiny stomachs and big appetites. Night feeds actually help with growth and brain development, and you're not just feeding hunger, you're fueling the wiring of future genius. Of course, it doesn't feel magical when you're heating bottles at dawn. It feels more like a survival sport. So when do you get to sleep again? Usually, most babies start dropping night seeds between 6 and 9 months, but only when they're ready. And what are these clues, you ask? Good feeds during the day, growing well, and starting to self-settle at night. That's your green light. You can cut feeds slowly. First reduce the amount, then the frequency. Think of it as the baby version of cutting back coffee. Sometimes they wake from genuine hunger, sometimes it's just habit. They're not plotting against you, I promise. Not every night wake means they need milk. Babies wait for comfort, warmth, or just to check their favorite person's still around. There's also a rumor that switching to formula magically makes babies sleep longer. I hate to break it to you, it's a bedtime myth. Breastfed babies, formula-fed babies, and mixed-feed babies, they all wake. Why? Because babies don't wait for milk type, they wait for you. Formula can take longer to digest, but it's not a sleep hack. Hunger isn't the only reason they stir. Comfort and rhythm plays huge roles too. Every feed, breast or bottle, builds brain connections. You're literally growing neurons with every cuddle and burp. And by about 6 months, not every wake needs milk. Sometimes they just want a little reassurance. A gentle pat says, "You're okay." And yes, you're tired, chronically. The kind of tired that makes you forget what day it is or where you put the baby's sock. But as they eat more solids, their need for night milk drops. It's not overnight, more like one peaceful stretch at a time. You'll soon swap the bottle for a bedtime song or hand on their chest. Same love, different comfort. So remember, there's no best way to feed, only what works for you and your baby. Fed, loved, and rested is the goal. Whether you're nursing, bottle feeding, or mixing it up, you're doing an amazing job. One feed, one night, one victory at a time.
So you've tackled the feeding. Their tummy is full, the routine is set. You think you've cracked the code. And then, bam, out of nowhere, they stop sleeping. They scream when you leave the room. Welcome to the regression. This is where most parents panic. But I want you to reframe this. It is not a regression, it is a progression. Their brain is just upgrading. Let's look at the developmental leaps that cause these sleep storms.
Your baby's finally sleeping through, and just when you're starting to trust it, boom, everything changes. Welcome to developmental sleep. Around 6 to 9 months, babies suddenly realize, wait a second, we're two different people? Cue clinginess and extra night wakings. It's not manipulation, it's love mixed with confusion. They just want to know you still exist when the lights go out. Their attachment is strong, and that's a good thing. You can't spoil a baby with comfort, you just make them feel safe. And if they're having a rough patch, just sitting nearby or giving a quick pat helps them settle faster. Ah, yes, the first big regression, that 4-month shakeup when sleep cycles mature and babies suddenly forget how to stay asleep. You haven't done anything wrong, their brain's just upgrading. Think of it as a software update with more crying. Then comes the 8-month leap, crawling, babbling, pulling up. Basically, bedtime becomes an Olympic sport. It's development, not defiance. They're so proud of their new tricks they want to rehearse at 2 a.m. And just when you've recovered, the 18-month no phase hits. Suddenly they've got opinions about bedtime, loud ones. Stick with the routine anyway. Predictability is the magic glue, even when they protest like you've proposed tax reform. Because then come growth spurts, extra hunger, extra crankiness, and yes, extra wake-ups. It's biology, not betrayal. And let's not forget teething. They're not crying to torture you, they're just growing tiny daggers in their mouth. And when they're ill, sleep goes out the window also, and that's okay. Comfort first, rest will follow. Because the cuddles, the rocking, those moments of care actually strengthen trust, even when you feel like a zombie. And before you know it, they bounce back. Their little bodies are built to recover, and your coffee supply is built to survive. Once things settle, go back to your usual bedtime routine. Babies thrive on déjà vu. Same song, same cot, same calm. Many parents will tell you, sleep isn't a straight line. It's a wobbly roller coaster that still moves forward. Progress hides inside the chaos. Try to zoom out. What feels endless now is just one chapter, and you're both learning how to rest together. Because every phase ends, every leap passes. So take the wins, laugh through the wild nights, and remember, this is all part of growing up.
Regressions pass, leaps end. But what if it doesn't stop? What if you have tried everything and nothing works? Well, sometimes it's not behavioral. Sometimes it's medical. We need to look for red flags like reflux or apnea. And on top, we also need to look at you. Sleep deprivation is a form of torture, and parental burnout is real. Let's switch focus from the baby's sleep to the parent's survival. Here is how to cope when it gets hard.
If you've forgotten what 8 hours of sleep feels like, congratulations, you're a parent. Let's talk about surviving it. Night after night, it can feel endless, feeds, rocking, pacing, repeat. You're not failing, you're just chronically underslept. You and your partner might barely talk these days, except in grunts. But that look you exchange at 3 a.m., that's teamwork. Babies don't need perfect parents, they need present ones. Even half awake and covered in muslin, you count. Nap when they nap? Sure, if you can teleport the laundry and freeze time. But even 5 quiet minutes helps. So try and find one small joy in each day: a baby giggle, a hot sip of coffee, a shower longer than 30 seconds. Celebrate those wins. And let people help you. Grandparents, friends, neighbors, they actually mean it when they say anything you need. If you're ever wondering at 2 a.m. when you'll ever sleep again, is a parenting rite of passage. You're in good company. While a 3-hour stretch of sleep? Now that's a win. Celebrate it like a holiday. No medals, but maybe extra caffeine. You can't pour from an empty cup. And yes, coffee refills only go so far. Take turns, rest, breathe. You matter too. Now let's talk about when tiredness isn't the only issue, like if your baby snores loudly or seems to stop breathing. Look out for persistent snoring, pauses in breathing, choking sounds, or ongoing reflux that affects sleep. Those need a quick chat with your doctor. Don't hesitate to ask for help. That's what we're here for. A quick review can bring peace of mind and better nights. Sometimes small changes, adjusting feeding, checking airways, treating reflux, can transform everyone's sleep. Though a little stirring, snuffling, even mid-sleep babbling, that's all normal baby sleep behavior. Don't panic at every sound. But if your gut says something's off, trust it. Persistent breathing issues, constant vomiting, or poor weight gain deserve attention. Most sleep problems pass with time, and when they don't, the right support can make all the difference. So lean on your tribe. Share the load, vent to friends, text that one parent who just gets it. Connection keeps you sane. And when you can, take a breather, literally. Step outside, feel the air, look at the sky. It's easy to feel stuck in the fog of fatigue, but remember, this is a season, not a sentence. It truly does get easier. Because one morning you'll wake up and realize they slept through, and you almost miss those tiny 3 a.m. cuddles. Almost. So be gentle with yourself. Rest when you can, ask for help, and remember, tired love is still love, and you're doing amazing.
Woohoo! We have survived the baby stage. You made it through the reflux, the regressions, and the sleepless nights. But now, drum roll please. Oh, your baby is walking, talking, and climbing out of their cot. Welcome to the toddler years. The physical exhaustion is gone, but the mental negotiation has just begun. So to celebrate, let's talk about the transition to the big kid bed, night terrors, and setting boundaries with love.
You've graduated from baby sleep to toddler sleep. Same sleeplessness, just more opinions. They're so proud of their big kid bed, and you're proud too, until you realize it comes with freedom of movement. Toddlers are bedtime lawyers. One more drink, one more hug, one more story. They'd negotiate for a puppy if they could. Try and stay calm. Keep limits gentle but firm. It's not a battle. It's bedtime with better boundaries. Because they'll test you, peek around corners, sprint down halls, but your superpower is consistency. So try and walk them back every time. Same words, same tone, same calm. Repetition is their bedtime language. By preschool, bedtime resistance levels up. They now have logic, opinions, and full storytelling skills. So if you ever find yourself doing a silent victory dance when they finally stay in bed, you're doing it right. And positive reinforcement works wonders. Reward charts, praise, little stars. It's behavioral science with stickers. Next up, the move to a bed, which is a big milestone, new freedom, new comfort, new adventures at 3 a.m. To help, make the new bed safe and familiar. Same sheets, same nightlight, maybe their favorite toy nearby. And if they wander into your bed, don't panic. It's comfort seeking, not rebellion. Just calmly return them when you can. Because each calm return tells them you're safe, but bedtime still means your bed. It's the toddler version of boundaries with love. As imagination grows, so do scary dreams. Comfort them, reassure them, and remind them that monsters are no match for parents. A quick cuddle, a sip of water, a calm voice, that's all they need to feel safe again. Don't overthink it. Night terrors may look dramatic, but they aren't remembered. Stay calm, keep them safe, and resist the urge to wake them. Nightmares happen in dream sleep, night terrors in deep sleep. One they recall, one they don't, but both need reassurance, not panic. In the morning, talk it through. Drawing their dreams helps turn fear into something they can laugh at. But whatever the age or phase, routine still rules. Familiar cues and calm endings help everyone wind down. From night feeds to nightmares, the goal's the same: safety, consistency, and love. And maybe, just maybe, a full night's sleep.
And there you have it, folks. From the first night home with a newborn, all the way to the big kid bed. In this masterclass, we have covered safety, feeding, brain development, and the tough reality of parental exhaustion. And if you take one thing away from this course, let it be this: there is no perfect sleeper. There are only parents doing their best to support their children through biological changes. And you are doing an amazing job. If this course helped you, please subscribe to Little Health Matters. We have more guides coming on nutrition, illness, and behavior. I'm Dr. Amit, wishing you safety, sanity, and hopefully a good night's sleep.